Well, in the meantime, let's begin. Would anyone like to attempt a recap of last session? Go for it. Madman, why even? Hmm? No, via monorail. Well, no, I only specify it because there is a monorail and there is a train, and they are separate things. The dreaming. Yeah, here I'll make an attempt at the recap. Yeah. Oh, go for it, Charles. Yeah, you go for it. You're skipping the attempted assault interrogation in the middle of the. Well, okay, the assault attempted interrogation. Yes, a fey path is a trod. Oh yeah, opened the gateway to it opened multiple gateways into the dreaming, including one that led to Arcadia, from what they could see. Hmm. Colin wandered around outside and didn't find anything. Yes, well, although he was very nervous by the fact that they were covered in blood and holding body parts. Yeah, he had a leg in his arm, in his hand. Yeah. Yep. One thing that I will point out from the recap that you missed, um, that is possibly significant that you did not mention, was that while interrogating the red cap, he began to give you information and then seemed to go glossy eyed and lose his memory. Great notes. Okay. Um, yeah, so the small purple dragon has flown away. You are all standing there looking at the door. Um, what's everyone doing? Or looking at the wall, rather. Okay. 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 Anyone who's looking around, roll me perception alertness. Hmm. Difficulty six. Yeah. Perception alertness. Damn. Okay. Um, Victor and Colin. You wander upstairs, and you do end up finding a well with a pump fairly quickly. Um, so a place, yeah, no, on the ground level. You're underground at the moment. Um, yeah, no, no, no. You're underground in the Undercroft right now. Now, as all of the others are heading up, um, Jack, you kind of stop and take one last look around this little room where the dragon was freed, and you notice on the door, or the the wall that's made to look like a door, in the indentation left by when the dragon came out of the door, you see a very faintly glowing purple scratchings, and you take a closer look and you realize that it's text. And even as you're reading it, the glow of the purple is fading until by the time you're done reading it, it's not even there anymore. No, I sent him the text. Well, you didn't see it, only he did. He may or may not want to share it with you. So, what do you guys do? You guys upstairs have found a well. You didn't see anything at all. You kind of follow the other two guys, and after they discovered the well, you did notice it. As they kind of went, "Hey, look, there's a well." You went, "Oh, yeah, yeah, there's a well, yeah." So, what are you guys up to? Okay. You head up to the well and clean yourself up. Yeah, you start to make your way through the castle. Um, you find pretty much that it looks like the people that left in a hurry. It doesn't look like it's been packed away. Yeah, there are like half finished meals still set on tables. There are. You don't know. Um, give me. Let's see. Is there a roll? Give me an intelligence kenning. 7. Jeez. probably the most useless role of the night to roll it on, but um, well, no, you very quickly as you start thinking, why was he starving? You kind of start thinking back, and you realize that where he was fallen would have been where he would have fallen had he been standing guard at the gate. He was on the ground when you found him. Yeah, he would have been standing guard at the gate. It, if someone had, if he had fallen over or been knocked over while standing guard at the gates, that's where you think he would have fallen to. Yes, there was probably some kind of a powerful oath keeping him where he was. You didn't see much of his equipment on him. He he was wearing his tunic and he had his weapon. You didn't see any shield. You didn't see any armor that might have been over a tunic. And he was in the middle of eating his flask when you got there. Yeah, that's where Taylor's character is headed as well. Yeah, you make your way through you make your way through this place, and you find much the same throughout the entire castle. It looks like the place was vacated in a hurry. You see a very few locations where it looks like things have been taken. There are a couple sets of like nobles' quarters where you see that some attempt has been made at opening a wardrobe and grabbing items of clothing out, or a case has been opened and something has been taken from it. Um, but it's few and far between. It is a pretty good question. The impression that you're getting is not long. The strong and the fast. Well, bear in mind the gateway to Arcadia might not have opened at the castle gates. There have been reports of gateways opening in the sky, gateways opening in the ground, gateways opening in a wall. hmm you've managed to find your way into a couple nobles' quarters. Oh, most certainly. You're not going to find many records kept within a chimerical castle in the dreaming. You're, or you may have an enchanted. Uh, yeah, you go to the throne room. Okay. Yeah, you quickly realize that most things here are chimerical in nature, so you don't necessarily know how they'll translate back into the autumn world, but you can certainly try. Yeah, or it could be just like it could be just a piece of plasterboard. Okay. Um, yeah, Taylor, you managed to find the what looks to be the ruler's quarters. A very nicely appointed room. Looks to be fit for a queen. And you actually notice something in this room that leads you to believe that perhaps the gateway that opened did not open at the lower points of the castle. It actually looks like a portion of the wall in this chamber on the north facing side has actually been blown outwards. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You go to the queen's desk. You do find a couple empty notebooks, but you do also find what does look to be an open drawer where there may have been other books that is empty. hmm the other thing that you find is a jewelry box that looks like it's been opened and kind of the top, whatever was in the top layer, scooped out, and the rest of the box left. Yeah, or took whatever was on the top layer. Oh yeah, yeah, clearly, very clearly. But you also do know that there have been stories of doorways to Arcadia opening and only being open a minute or two. So they wouldn't necessarily have known how long it would stay open when it opened. Even if it ended up staying open longer, someone who's desperate to get back would have assumed that it's going to close any second as soon as they saw it. Um, mhm. What kind of a roll are you wanting to make? The moon landing, which was the most significant one in a long time, the during the moon landing they were open for nearly a day. Yeah, it was the moon landing was significant enough that for the first time in hundreds of years, Faye actually came out of the dreaming, thinking that it might be stable enough for them to reestablish a foothold here, and that's when most of the She got trapped. Is when they came out thinking it was stable again, and the doors closed behind them a day later. But if you think something as significant as the moon landing gave them almost a day. All right. Now then, Jack, you reach the throne room. Give me perception alertness. You are killing it. You start to look around, and then you notice something that is most certainly out of place. In the throne, there is a dagger stuck. Kind of where if someone was sitting on the throne, the back of their head would have gone. There is a dagger plunged into the throne there, and on the back of the dagger, on the pommel, there is a chain wrapped around it and a necklace hanging from it. That is the necklace. It looks like someone took the chain of the necklace, wrapped it around the pommel of the dagger, and plunged the dagger into the throne. The dagger itself looks like a fairly standard dagger. Yeah. Um, um, well, I mean, you are in the near dreaming, so yeah, you're in a place here where most things, unless someone has brought them in specifically with a purpose, are created from the dream. Many things that are created solely for the purposes of use in the dream will fade away into nothing on departure. Yeah. Some of the stuff in here does not even really qualify as chimerical items because they have no autumn component. Yes. That's called oath breaking. Your character has grown up near Disneyland and made a trip to Disney World. I'd say that's a recognizable enough image. No. Okay. You grab the dagger and take it out. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Only the fact that, how to describe it? No, there's nothing to that effect. Something just feels off. I mean, you don't know how the place was decorated, or what, you don't know what necessarily should be in the place. But just looking around the room, it feels like for a throne room in a place like this, there should be more of something here. Yeah. There there are quite a few banners in the place, and actually, it's a very eclectic mix. This place seems to have things like banners of the different noble houses of the changelings, but they seem to be kind of hung alongside and mixed in with really odd things like Adventureland pinnets and um, the royal crest of Mickey Mouse and a Pirates of the Caribbean uh, tapestry, and just kind of a really odd mix of things you recognize as Changeling and things you recognize as Disney. It's fairly easy to do so, and plunge them into his chest. Hmm. And then he does a chest bump and stabs both of you with it in the chest. Okay, I will show the necklace now then, since a couple of you have seen it now. It is. You easily could be. Yeah, the easiest way is probably going to be perception graymare. That's not going to get you a lot of detail, but it's going to get you an idea. Aside from that, you're going to be trying to use um, some type of art in conjunction with probably prop. You, yeah, you'd be looking at either fey or prop with an art. That will help you find something, but that's not going to tell you if something you already have is magic. Hmm. Well, dagger is certainly something you wield, yeah. A crafted, yeah, it'd be a two. Okay. Okay. Make your roll. Just going to grab my cheat sheet on it. What do you mean you can't roll arts? Okay, your difficulty. So, step one, you decide the specific dot rating of the art you're going to use. Step two, determine what realms are required. Step three, spend any glamour. Um, you don't need to spend any glamour because you're doing this in the dreaming. You could use glamour if you needed to in order to have higher dots in a realm. Remember, cheating is a thing. So, for example, if you have one dot in prop, but you need two dots in prop for this to work, you can spend a point of glamour to count as having two dots for this roll. You could if you wanted to cheat it, yes, if you have the glamour for that, yeah. Yeah. And then your roll is going to be your art rating plus the rating of the lowest primary realm. Okay. And of those dice, you can then, if you choose to, replace up to three of them with nightmare dice to lower your difficulty. Okay. You've performed the required bunk. Your difficulty then is going to be, let's see, 8, 7, 6, 5. Is that your affinity realm? No. Okay. So it's a 5. Hmm. Yes. Very nice. And you're speaking in this case to which item? Okay. Okay. And what do you say to it? The neck of great green skin. The neck of great green skin. It has been a great while since I sat upon a neck. All items of beauty bestow power in one form or another. There's no answer to that one. I do not know. My owner has always come for me. I sat upon the neck of my owner most every day until recently. which is like 6 to 8 hours. I haven't eaten in 3 hours. I exist. Yeah, but the concept of multiple worlds is a little bit esoteric for a necklace. I do not see how. You put it on. You're wearing a necklace. It doesn't really suit him. Okay. Well, he's not real anymore. No, that was specifically the throne room. No, that was specifically the throne room. Okay, you head to the throne room. Okay. Okay. You don't necessarily find a king's chamber, but you do find the chambers of multiple male nobles. There are some quite fine, like, court vestments in some of these rooms. You do find like an undershirt, but it is like the kind of almost kind of medievally vest that you find with the frilled collar. It's basically like a t-shirt with a frilled collar. Okay. And once cleaned up, what do you guys do from there? Okay, you all head out. As you're all leaving, everyone just roll me a d10, just a straight d10. as all of you head out, um, as you walk across the bridge and step back out into the autumn world, you kind of get split up a little bit because you're stepping out into what is still a very crowded area. Yeah, you kind of you're walking into a crowd, so the four of you staying together in that crowd is quite difficult. So you kind of